What is up, YouTube? Important video today. We've got calorie tracking. I'm going to teach you guys everything under the sun after years of calorie tracking experience. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to track your calories and reach your fitness goals. So let's get right into it. Why is calorie tracking useful? Well, this is the actual science-backed way to lose or gain weight. So after you know how to calorie track, you're not going to need any special fad diets. Think of this as a tool. This video is bringing you one step forward in life and one step forward towards your fitness goals. So why does this work? Well, calorie tracking is just simple science. So you're tracking everything that goes into your body. It's simple thermodynamics. And this is how you know exactly how much weight you're going to lose, how much weight you're going to gain, or if you're going to stay the same. I'm going to go a little bit more into depth for weight loss in another video, but for now, you should know how to calorie track because it's an essential part in the weight loss process. So let's get into setting it up. And the easiest thing for you to do right now is to download the MyFitnessPal app or any other calorie tracking app that you have. This is where you're going to track all of your calories. Simple, just go to the App Store on your phone and do that. Next step is you're going to want to get your TDEE calculator. Just search that up in Safari and put in your info and it's going to give you a rough estimate maintenance calories. I'm going to explain what that is, but yeah, just get that number and save it. And then the other thing you need is a food scale from Amazon. Or not from Amazon, but just a food scale in general. It's pretty cheap. You're not going to want to be tracking calories if you don't have a food scale. It's not really going to be worth it. And then optional, you can set your macros, set your micros. I can go more in depth in that in another video, but yeah, all you really need to do is get the total daily expenditure, energy expenditure number, this number, and get the app, and then order the scale. So the first thing we're going to do for tracking calories, we're going to find the maintenance. So that the total daily energy expenditure number is the best estimation that you can get, but it's going to vary person to person, based on genetics, based on all this stuff. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to eat that number that I gave you for approximately 2 weeks. And this is just going to show you how correct that number was. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to track your weight every morning as well. So every morning, as soon as you get out of bed, weigh yourself before you drink any water and after you have used the washroom. This is just going to be the best way to get a consistent weight. Like if you're weighing yourself with clothes on after eating, your weight's going to vary so much, but this is just the most consistent way for you to weigh yourself. So you're going to want to weigh yourself every day because there's going to be little fluctuations, but what you're going to want to do at the end of the week is get the average of that, and that's going to tell you if your weight is trending upwards or downwards or holding. So after 2 weeks, if you have held, you've hit your maintenance. If you're gaining weight, you are in a surplus, and if you're losing weight, you're in a deficit. So depending on how much weight you eat or how much weight you gain or lose, you're going to want to adjust accordingly. So if you've gone for 2 weeks and you've gained, say, half a pound to a pound, you're going to want to drop that down by maybe 100 to 200 calories. Eat at that and just keep adjusting until you find your maintenance. This is a bit of a process. It's something that you have to do at the start, but it'll be worth it when you find your true maintenance. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of the logistics of tracking, how to actually track your weight. So these are just a few pointers, but I just want to go over the main premise here. You're going to want to be tracking everything. You can't get a good estimate just based off looking at the food and saying, oh, I've ate this many grapes, so that's going to be right. You're going to need to weigh everything. You're going to need to go into the MyFitnessPal, set it to grams, weigh it, and that's just going to be the most accurate way. There's not really a point in tracking if you're not going to be doing that. So just a few things. Obviously, before you weigh your grapes per se, you put the bowl on the scale, zero that out, then you put the grapes in the bowl, and then you put them on the scale, whatever that says, that's how many grams you put into the app. A few common pitfalls is watch out for cooked versus raw food. So when you're tracking, make sure you're either weighing it cooked or raw. Doesn't really matter, but just make sure that you're putting that into the app. So you're tracking it as cooked meat or raw meat. Something that really helps is cooking your own food so you know what ingredients is in there. So if you add a tablespoon of oil, that's going to fluctuate the amount of calories that is in the food by a lot. And if you're at a restaurant, your parents cooked it, it's not going to be nearly as exact. And we want to be most exact as possible. You're going to want to track everything that goes into your body, but make sure you especially don't forget about the sauces, the oil, because those things are very calorie dense and they can add up over time, and people will just neglect these and wonder why they're not getting accurate tracking. But there are like a few things you can skip, like 0 calorie sweetener, hot sauces, Diet Cokes, anything that's like pretty much 0 calorie. Lettuce is pretty low calorie too. That stuff you can be a little bit more lenient with. Another tip you can have for when you don't cook your own meal is just using ChatGPT as a cross-reference. So taking a picture of the meal, putting it on a scale, and explaining when greens are in there. So if my parents have made like, say, some ground turkey with some vegetables in it, I'll weigh that, take the picture, and say my parents used extra lean ground beef. They added approximately this much oil. There's this ingredients in there. What are the macros of this whole meal? And then you can easily implement that into the system manually. You can figure that out, look it up, or ask ChatGPT how to do it. It's not that hard. And another tip for you is to meal prep. So if you meal prep, you can actually just log for the days in advance, which saves time. So your stuff is pre-logged, so when it comes to the day that you eat it, you don't even have to track anything. It's already in there. So say you're at work, you don't have to bring your scale to retrack because you've already tracked it in advance. Another trick I want to go over is, I call this the tear trick. So if you ever just want to have a quick snack, but you don't want to weigh everything out in proportion, what you're going to want to do is put the food on the scale. So say it's like, I don't know, like a bag of chips. Don't eat chips, but put the bag of chips, zero it out, and then keep eating until you're full or until you want to be done eating. And whatever that negative number says is how much you're going to want to track in the app. I already went over this. Make sure you're weighing everything and tracking all oils and sauces. This is the stuff that adds up and will mess you up. So next up, we've got why some people fail. The biggest thing I see is people eyeballing and not weighing. Again, if you're not weighing, you're not going to be exact, and it's not really worth tracking. Another pitfall is not logging everything. People will do this to cope and feel better about themselves, but there's no point tracking. Just track everything unless it has 0 calories. Another thing is missing the nuances. So this is kind of just not using your brain. Like there is a certain level of IQ when it comes to tracking, like the cooked meat versus the raw meat. Or if you track something in the app and the macros are way off, like you should be able to like see it and figure out that something's wrong and look it up and figure it out, because there's so many different options in the app. So just little things like question everything. It's not that hard. Don't overcomplicate it, but don't just do it mindlessly either. And then also quitting before they find their maintenance, quitting before anything meaningful happens. This is going to take a bit to get used to. Like the first week may be a little bit rough and definitely an adjustment period, but I promise you it'll be worth it in the end. So don't just quit when it gets hard. It'll get a lot easier and become routine over time. So yeah, just that's it. It's really not that hard. Do this for a month or two, and after that you can decide if tracking is for you. But no matter what, if you do keep tracking or if you don't, you're going to know so much more about your body, so much more about how many calories are in food. So you'll be able to easily gain weight, maintain weight, or lose weight without tracking, just because you'll know how many calories are in foods. Like you'll learn so much by doing this process. It's one of the best things that you can do. And yeah, I highly recommend this to anyone. But yeah, so just get started, get the app, the scale, calculate your maintenance, test that for a little bit, then adjust, make sure you weigh everything, make sure you use your brain. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Our next video, I'm going to go over a little bit more on the process behind losing weight with some more tips and tricks. But yeah, I encourage you guys, just download the app, buy the scale, try it for even just 2 weeks, and you'll learn so much about yourself. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and a subscribe. This was a bit of a shorter one today. Let me know if you have any suggestions down in the comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in.